When you think of a haunted doll, it's likely the old creepy Victoria looking porcelain kind that springs to your mind, which you probably don't have lying around. But don't be too comfortable around your kids' toys though. An Elsa doll from the movie Frozen was gifted for a Christmas gift to a young girl in Houston, when in the coming years would become a headline in the paper as it seemingly became haunted. The mother claimed that the doll would say lines from the movie such as "Let it go" when you pressed it on the necklace, but said in 2015 it would start going from English to Spanish. But the weird thing was, there's no button on it to switch languages. It just did it by itself. They owned the doll for about 6 years. They never changed the batteries, but for some reason, the doll would always speak, even when the switch was turned off. The family decided to get rid of the doll in late 2019 by throwing it in the trash. A few weeks later, they found it inside a bench in their living room. The kids swore that it wasn't them that put the doll in there, and the mother believed them because she stated they would never dig through garbage. At this point, the Elsa doll didn't sing anymore. It only spoke Spanish when you pressed a button. They were freaked out, and this time they put it in a bag, put it on the bottom of their garbage, and they stood there at their window and they watched it get put in the garbage truck and they watched it drive away just to make sure that it actually left the house. The family went on a mini vacation, but when they came back, so did the doll. But this time, she was waiting for them in the backyard. At this time, they were really freaked out, so they mailed it to a friend that lived far, far away. The friend attached it to a truck, and the doll hasn't been seen yet. Many hospital ghost stories center around patients who just won't make the journey to the other side. But this is one of the most bone-chilling I've ever heard. A nurse working in a palliative care unit was performing a typical post-mortem care routine on a patient when she realized that his eyes hadn't been closed yet. So the nurse closed his eyes and went back to her business, only to look over and see that his eyes were still open, fixated on the nurse's face. If that wasn't creepy enough, he then let out a huge groan and grabbed onto the bed rail as she watched him. She jumped back in fear and built up the courage to go back to him, triple checking his pulse and confirming that the patient was indeed dead. She quickly zipped up the bag and did everything she could to avoid, once again, his open eyes. Let me preface this with saying I really don't believe in ghosts. There's always some sort of rational explanation to these kind of phenomena. But sometimes that explanation can't be easily found. As with this house, me and 5 guys rented it together. I woke up many times from hearing people rummaging around in different parts of the house, especially when I was home alone. Lights switching on and off, toilets flushing, doors banging, shit like that. Lots of sleep paralysis too, and I wasn't the only one who noticed this shit. Worst, though, was the eerie sensation of waking up and sensing a child is creeping into your bed behind your back and tucking itself in. But there was no children living in the house with us. These days, I'm thinking it must have been some sort of carbon monoxide poisoning or something like that going on in the house. I'm at a loss for rational explanations. If you made it past all these 3 creepy stories, I'd like to say thank you for watching. And if you want to continue to be creeped out, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel in order to get notified of my new upcoming videos. If you have any creepy stories that you want to share to me, please send them to nextstopfear@gmail.com.